Welcome to another Bites of Bread from St. John the Center. Again, I'm Pastor Shell. I'm walking you through the Holy Land where we learn from some of the events and the places of Jesus' life. Today we're going to be way up north in the town of Nazareth. That place was known as Jesus' hometown. But we're not spending time there when he grew up as a boy. It's actually later on in his ministry when he returned. On this return trip to his hometown, he was in the synagogue, their house of worship. He was given an opportunity to speak. You have to wonder what that event must have been like. That place must have held so many memories for Jesus. You have to wonder how many times he had been with Joseph or Mary and heard sermons there. As he stood in front of the people there to speak, you have to wonder how many of those eyes looking on him had remembered him as a boy and had watched him grow into a man. We don't know exactly what this synagogue looked like. In fact, for a while, archaeologists hadn't had any luck finding a synagogue in the town of Nazareth. It was to the point that some people questioned if this could have even existed. Well, since that time, they've found several buildings that could quite possibly have been synagogues. And for us, that's a good reminder to not place too much stock in archaeology. Now, it can be very helpful. It can confirm things that we have in the Bible. It can help make them come alive as we understand what they were like. But archaeology can sometimes be a little bit murky. People went from once wondering if the Bible was true to now seeing, yes, it was true. But they had those doubts because they placed too much trust in archaeology. What's interesting is if you go online, at least I could find several references to the fact that they have found places that do in fact look like a synagogue. From what I could tell, though, no one's posted a picture of what that was like. What's even more interesting, though, is there is a reconstruction of a synagogue in Nazareth. And you can find lots of pictures of that. In fact, this one's taken from Wikipedia. As we see that picture, I think that actually helps makes the scene come alive a little bit more than if we just saw a picture of rocks. You have to wonder what it would be like to be in a building like that back in Jesus' day. To see Jesus come to the front, to watch the scroll of Isaiah being handed to him, and to hear Jesus read before the crowd the following: "The Spirit of the Lord is on me, because he has anointed me to preach good news to the poor. He has sent me to proclaim freedom for the prisoners and recovery of sight for the blind, to release the oppressed, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor." That must have been amazing to experience that. But what's interesting is the reaction to Jesus initially was mixed. At the start, people were overjoyed by what he shared with them. But as Jesus started to claim, no, this is talking about me. I am the fulfillment of all these things. There were many who rejected Jesus and his message to the point that they even tried to kill him. When we hear this message, though, we can't help but rejoice, because this is a summary of what we're all about. This is why we exist. If you want to know why the Christian church exists or why St. John exists, it is to preach good news to the spiritually bankrupt. To tell people who seem to have nothing to give to God that they don't have to worry because their debt has been paid in full by everything that Jesus offered on their behalf. To proclaim freedom to prisoners. We exist to say to people, Satan does not control you. Even something like death, which seems so powerful, which seems so irreversible, is not our master, because Jesus has set us completely free. We get to proclaim sight to the blind. Through the Spirit working through the Word, he opens up our eyes to see the world in a whole new light, to know the wonders of his love, to appreciate creation as never before, to live in the hope of heaven. We get to proclaim released for the oppressed. There are a lot of burdens that people are carrying around. Some people are carrying around the burden of guilt. Others are carrying around a burden of hopelessness. And to them, we say that burden has been taken away. Because Christ has forgiven our guilt, Christ has given us new purpose in this life and hope for the world to come. Sometimes it seems as if there's a little bit of confusion why the church exists. But we're not a social club. We're more than just family connections. We certainly don't go to church to show off and look down at people who don't come. No, we gather to celebrate the very same things that Jesus offered in that synagogue of Nazareth so long ago. So I encourage you, enjoy these blessings. Regularly gather for worship. Go out into your community to proclaim these blessings with those who don't have them yet. And let's join those around us in celebrating and appreciating what we have in Christ. Thanks for watching.